Hello and welcome to a blogcast of the Crochet Luna blogcast. I'm here with a very special guest.
Hi, Clarisabeth of Crochet Cakes.
And we are here because we wanted to share a little time with you as we prepare to launch our 5th annual Summer of Romance Cal.
5 years, that's leasing a car.
Paid off that car. So for everyone who doesn't know who we are, I guess, Clarisabeth, let's tell our lovely viewers something about ourselves. You start.
Okay, so my name's Clarisabeth. You can find me in most social media as Crochet Cakes because I crochet and I love to eat cakes. Bake them too, but eating them is more satisfying. So, and in my downtime, I drink copious amounts of tea, read obscene amount of books, like a large amount of books, and yeah, just crafty life and hanging out. I like making new friends.
And where are you coming from? Where are you at?
Where are you at? Florida, United States. Yeah, I'm down south a lot farther from you.
Yes, I am actually in San Diego. I'm in Southern California, where it is beautiful, sunny. It's like in the 70s. It's gorgeous. It's really nice. And we are coming to you one day before Easter Sunday. And
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to everyone out there who celebrates. I too like to eat cake, but I do not make cakes.
Lately, I've been baking more bread than cakes. Gotta be honest, those carbs with butter and olive oil.
I can't, I'm vegan, but I say to people when it comes to desserts, I'm veganish. I will not say no to pastries and cakes and breads. They're my downfall. So we had to do some research, Clarisabeth.
We did.
We had to do some research because we couldn't quite remember all of our Summer of Romance themes.
No, we couldn't. And upon researching and all that, we realized that we actually do not have many of the projects that we made for the Summer Romance Cal. I've given away 2 of them. And one of them, which you'll find out soon, was never even started.
I've got one of those too. And everyone who's ever participated in our Summer of Romance, a heartfelt thank you from us.
Yes.
Because, summer after summer after summer, people have shown up and have made some really beautiful projects. We tend to keep the same hashtag so that we can go back, and the only thing that changes is the year. So
it's always SR Cal, and then this year it will be 2022. So that's the only thing that changes. If you use Ravelry, you can check out the past SR Cal threads from my Ravelry group, which I still have open. If you want, I can open a Ravelry thread if you guys comment down below if you're interested in that. But yeah, you can check out the couples, check out book recommendations, movie recommendations, because that's one of the best things about running this Cal is just, celebrating love, which is one of the most beautiful things we have as humans, and also just learning what other things you can binge watch or read. And it's so fun.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the best things about the thread is that you could see what, people were crocheting, what their inspiration was, and knitting, because we welcome knitters, of course.
Yes.
Come knit something, and you would get these great recommendations, some classics, but a lot of new things. So what I thought we would do is we would go starting in 2017 with our very first Summer of Romance, which we learned didn't have a theme.
No, it did not. We just said, let's celebrate loves and do whatever you want, as long as you can find it in a book, in a movie, in an opera, in a theater production, wherever, anime, you can find it. We're celebrating it. So I remember the name of the book I chose to represent and the name of the yarn. I do not remember the project, and I do not remember the couple. I chose from the Dark Hunter series of Sherilyn Kenyon. I chose to represent Acheron's brother. Maybe his name was Styx. I am unsure.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I chose to represent him and his wife with a shawl pattern that I believe was from the Crochet Project. And it was a series of double crochet panels, I think, and then broomstick lace. And I remember Mom had to finish that shawl for me because I couldn't. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly so you guys can see this. Is it sharing? No. Oh, if you hit share, Clarissa, it'll share.
There you go. I remember this.
Yeah, so the yarn was actually called named Styx, which is why I chose it. And I think it was meant to represent the river Styx, but I chose to represent the character. And I chose the green, contrasting green for eucalyptus because that's what his wife always smelled of. So that was my interpretation for that summer romance cow. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. All right.
I remember that as soon as you said broomstick lace, I do remember that. And it's funny because that Sherilyn Kenyon series I devoured, and I actually met her. I don't know if you remember this.
I remember you told me, and you met her you went to her book signing?
Yes, I went to one of her book signing because she was here in town for Comic-Con, and she had either like broken her ankle or something. She had like this gnarly like leg brace, but this fabulous dress. And I went and I got Ashron actually signed by her. So I have a copy of that. I know. So it was so great. Now, me personally, I don't remember what I did. I think there's a picture somewhere on Instagram. It's something red that I remember was a top from an Inside Crochet magazine. If I find the information, I'll put it down below in the description because I don't even have it anymore. I think I gave it away. I don't have it. So
it wasn't it wasn't a top with a granny square, right?
No, it wasn't. Okay. I think it was
that one was blue.
Red. Oh, okay. No, that's for the next year's summer romance. So the next,
what a great transition.
It was perfect. So for 2018, our theme was bad boys or bad girls. That I do have a project for, but you go ahead. You share what you chose that year.
Okay, so I chose to represent Draco Malfoy. For those longtime viewers of my podcast, you guys know I'm a shipper of Hermione and Draco because bad boy redemption, who doesn't like that? So let me share my screen again because I actually don't have it either. I gave it away as a Christmas gift to one of my friends. And one second. There we go. So let me cancel this screen share. Technology, hi, yes. Art thou ready? So I found this on Instagram because I never took a picture of it finished, and I never took a picture of it at any other point. I know I shared it in the podcast. It took me a year. As you can see, I finished it February 2019. So it took me quite a while to finish. But this was the Ollivander shawl designed by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears podcast. And I chose the colors, to me, spoke unicorn. And Draco Malfoy's wand was represented by, had a unicorn hair core. And I used a very kind of not heathery, but the yarn had fluff because it was alpaca based. So those are all the ways I chose to incorporate the unicorn theme. All right, I'm going to stop sharing.
So that is actually knitted, correct?
Yes,
that was knitted. Yep. That was, I remember that. I chose Baron, who is from the Fever series by Carrie Marie Money.
And I love
So this is my blush, this is one of my favorite shawls I've ever made. And I wear this all the time. And actually, I this week spent about 2 days washing every single thing that I own that I've crocheted. So this is one of the things, and I didn't block it. So I didn't reblock it. It just came out of the dryer like this.
Oh, you put it in the dryer?
That was great. Yeah, well, and delicate. But yeah, it came out perfect. And this was all custom dyed yarn by one of my favorite dyers, who is Heidi of, I have her card right here, Wolfie Wool.
Oh yeah.
So she dyed this to represent the female lead in the book, who he called Rainbow Girl, and then because he was such a hottie in the book, the red. So yeah, this was my bad boy was Baron from the Fever series. And actually I made a second one based on what is her name? The Charlie Davidson series too. I did a second one, but I don't have that one.
I don't remember. And
do you remember that one?
No, but I also remember, I think you custom dyed yarn for another summer romance cal, and it was blue and white.
No, it was gray and black.
Oh,
but it kind of looks blue.
Yeah, and that was for, was it a David Bowie thing? Am I just remembering this wrong? Or
no, it wasn't. You know what it was? It was Negan.
Oh, okay. Because I remember the white hair.
You know what? Negan, it was actually my second bad boy, I think, that I put.
Oh, okay.
You guys, this is what Clarisabeth and I have been doing pre-interview. We're like, don't you remember it was like this? And I'm like, no, it was kind of like that. And I'm like, no, I think you're right. I think it was like that. It's just crazy. It's crazy how time flies, right?
Oh my God, yes. I was doing an interview the other day, and my first podcast episode was 2016. And I was like, I was a baby.
Your first podcast episode is the reason I started podcasting. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was called Fifth Time's the Charm. See,
yeah,
I even remember that. I remember that.
That's such a great compliment, and
that's how we met too. You're the reason. I remember, for you guys who don't know this story, I had come off of a flare up, and I was bedridden. I could not get out of bed, and I was on YouTube, and I saw this Fifth Time's a Charm, and it was your face, and you were holding, I think it was a sock, right, or something like that. And I'm like, what is this? Click. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. I was like, I want a podcast about my crochet. So yeah, the reason my podcast is because of you, lady.
Oh, that's so cool. And then here we are, 5 years,
5 years later. Yeah.
I don't know what time means anymore.
None of us do, or days or anything. Okay, so we're going now to 2019, when opposites attract.
Yeah, that one was the year that I think we both chose movies from the 80s, because that was a classic theme in the 80s. Like, you have this super popular kid and not so popular kid, and then they just meet and something happens, and meet cute and whatever that's called, and go. So for that one, I chose, as Claudia reminded me, Can't Buy Me Love, because the only description she had was African dance and very popular girl that he pays to help him just become popular. Those were her clues. And she's like, oh yeah, that's Can't Buy Me Love. I'm like, there you go. I actually still have that project because it was my first sock design, and it's the vintage wave socks. And this is meant to represent, because I think in the final scene, she's wearing a white shirt with a black blazer. And that kind of look just struck me as so iconic that I wanted to immortalize it. in wool. And this yarn's actually a Harry Potter inspired yarn, if I'm remembering, and it was by Kayleen Little Bean Loves. She's a Boston, Massachusetts based dyer. I think she still dyes. She's back to dyeing yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah, she started up again, and she's doing some really, really nice things actually. I'm on a yarn diet because otherwise I just have single skeins of yarn. And well, there we go. When I used to buy it, I wasn't like, you know how some people buy yarn that coordinates so well so they can incorporate it into any project? I was not one of those people. So most of my yarn doesn't just like form a cohesive, beautiful piece. It's just like there's that and there's that. So yeah.
I have the same problem too. I'm sitting on a mountain of single skeins that I guess could go together. I mean, it's one of the things that when you first start in this crochet journey, in the fiber journey, all the pretty yarn, you're like, oh, this is pretty, this is pretty, this is pretty. And then you realize, what can I make with one skein? I mean, there's a lot of awesome one skein projects, but a lot of times, like, I look at this and I'm like, okay, there you go. There you go. Exactly. Yeah. So let me see. For my project, I don't have it, but I chose Samantha Baker and Jake Ryan from 16 Candles. And I made this awesome vest by Detroit Knots in like a really pretty pink color.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, but I never wore it because I made it too big. And so, but happy ending, I found somebody who liked it and fit it. So I gifted that project.
That's good. That's good. Oh, that's so fun.
I love that movie. I know it's getting some like heat now for some representation issues, but what I always held on to is that core scene, you know, that iconic scene of her being outside that church and him sitting, you know, standing in front of that red Porsche, and she's like, me? Like, you're here for me? It's like, this gets me every time.
No, I get it. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of misrepresentations in movies in general, I think, but there's always some key moments that you hold on to from movies that just spoke to you on a personal level. Like I always remember from 16 Candles, for example, she was kind of very outcast and just trying to find her way through life. And that's a theme of every day, I think. You know, we're all trying to just meander and find something.
And trying to find your own people, right? Trying to find the people that,
and that also coincides with our next theme of, if I'm not mistaken, timeless romance, because timeless themes of finding yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Timeless romance was our theme for 2020, which, good God, people, 2020. Let's just...
You'll find out soon what happened there.
Yeah. Why don't you start with that one, Clarisabeth?
So I actually couldn't remember what the theme for 2020 was. I went to my Ravelry thread and I said, timeless romances. Here you go. I just kind of like threw that in there. And I'm like, but Clarissa, where's your couple? When did you ever mention your couple? So I kept reading through the thread and I said, yeah, I'm going to do Catherine Morland and Henry Tilney from Northanger Abbey because it's my favorite Jane Austen novel and I identify with Catherine so much. I know the novel was written as a way to criticize people who read too many Gothic novels, but I identify with Catherine because, you know, you envelop yourself in this fantasy world and then reality hits you and you're like, oh, that wasn't what I thought it was. And you know what else wasn't what I thought it was? When I looked for the project, and this is what I found.
A beautiful yarn.
A beautiful yarn that never got made into anything. But this is a properly aptly named Northanger Abbey colorway. That's the name of the colorway. And it was a gift to me from one of the participants in previous Summer Romance Cows. She used to dye, I think, I'm not sure if she still dyes anymore. She was Little Miss Muffet yarn. I think that was the name. Actually, Ugh, why am I letting my brain die?
Is she UK based?
Yes, she was UK based.
I think I met
Miss
her when I went. Yep, I met
Miss
her.
Muffet yarns. Yeah, she used to include a little pom pom. So I have it all beautifully dyed. And it was supposed to be a Treasure Island shawl for my cousin.
Still could
actually,
be. You know what?
that's what I was
It
thinking.
still could be.
I was thinking, you know what? I should just, it's caked up. I should gift it. My cousin loves purple, and it would be a great gift for her. Yeah, oh, I'm out of focus again. There we go. So, what about, did you do a project for 2020, Claudia? Don't keep us in suspense.
Well, I had big plans that year. I had big plans. And, one of the things that I always used to do is have yarn dyed custom for the project. And I would work with Heidi, or, as I did this year, I worked with Jessie from Me to Yarn. I said, I've got this project that I want to work on. And she very kindly dyed this beautiful yarn.
It's beautiful.
This very beautiful yarn that got made into nothing.
Mine made it to cake.
I didn't even get there. So my timeless couple was a couple from True Romance, Alabama, and God, what is his name? I always forget his name. Her name was Alabama, but this was based on his Hawaiian t-shirt that he wears in a poster. And she did such a beautiful job. But like I said, I think it's 2020, it just was such a crazy year that I didn't get to make anything. And Cecilia Lozada actually gifted me her ebook that she had put out that year, and I was going to make a top from it. And so I don't remember that. So let's move 2020. Oh yes, that was 2021. That was a 2020 pin. So for 2021,
we did stuff.
The theme was paranormal romances. Try saying that really quick. What did you make for that year?
I was very, very excited that year because I have been looking for a way to just make this couple a part of Summer Romance Cal since the very beginning. Evie and Rick O'Connell doesn't get more paranormal, just more just epic than that, in my opinion. Okay. So yeah. And I actually made a Treasure Island shawl for that. Of course, I didn't do a gauge swatch or any of that nonsense. So I used up about 150 grams of yarn instead of the 100 you were supposed to use to make it. But it's fine. I love it. And it actually ended up being a great stash busting. And I found corresponding yarns to just kind of like fade in and out, sort of. And it's very special to me as well because this main hang, I bought it from my friends Anna and Mike at Stitchcraft and Wizardry, Australian yarn dyer. And this was an Hercule Poirot colorway. And then I think this one was a beach themed colorway, very appropriate, Egypt, lots of sand. And then this one was a gift from Melissa of Acorn Willows. I don't think it had a name, but I also thought the colors complemented themselves. And yeah, Evie and Rick, I chose to represent the desert because that's where they met. And that's where they, almost destroyed the world twice.
That is such a beautiful shawl. And then it's Hannah from the Crochet Cottage.
Yes.
That designed that pattern. Yes. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty.
It's so comfy. I actually keep it next to my bed because I get chilly at night and I just wrap it around my neck. And
Yeah, it's so pretty. And it goes with everything, really.
Yeah, I know. That's why
Hey,
I was so happy to use it.
is that the same year that you dressed up as Evie?
Yeah,
Yes, you did, right?
yeah, it did. Oh my God. Let me see if I have pictures that I can pull up.
Yeah, share those pictures because you
Yeah.
looked fabulous. You both looked
Oh,
fabulous.
oh man, I don't know. This is organization. Where art thou?
I think it was for like a Halloween party, right?
Yeah, our friends hosted how I think I'm just gonna have to go to ye old Instagram. Our friends hosted a Halloween party and he just flat out told us, you have to come up, you have to come dressed. I'm not gonna let you walk in through the door if you're not dressed. And Edison knows that I've been wanting to cosplay as Evie and Rick for
Mhm.
the longest time ever. So he actually acquiesced to my request this year and he went full out. Like I don't think, yeah, I have pictures. Let me share my screen. He went full out. Like he bought his harness. He bought the harness. Oh my God, that's not the word. Holster. He
I was
bought
like, I
it.
don't know which movie you're talking about.
I know, right? So this
Oh,
was it,
yes,
and
you look
it's
so good.
actually the skirt was from ThreadUp, which is a online thrift store. The shirt was from ThreadUp. The scarf, I made it from an old pair of pants that broke. Crocheted my hat, and I gotta say, the hardest part was erasing my eyebrows. Never want to do that one again. So that's my husband, not my brother, as some people mistakenly thought. No, I'm not calling anyone out. I just thought it was really funny that somebody said, "Yeah, you and your brother look great." I'm like, "Thanks, but that's my husband." So
Oh, it
yeah,
looks so good. You guys look so, so good.
yeah, and these are 3D printed for anyone wondering. He like paid for that. He got this is leather. Like he just went full out. So we decided that we're gonna when Comic Con becomes a thing you can do again, we are going to take this outfit to the next level. Like I'm gonna try and buy some shoes from American Duchess, which is have you heard of them? They do
Mhm.
historical reproductions of shoes, and they're a US based company. I think actually they might be in California. Might be. Yeah, so they had the perfect, they were even called Evie. Like that was the name of the Oxford heel. But committing, they're made in leather and they're high quality shoes that are going to last a while. But I didn't have the money to throw at them at that time. So I said, if we go to Comic Con, I'm getting those shoes. It's going to happen.
Gotta come to San Diego Comic Con. That is the con to come to.
Yeah, we actually went to Dragon Con a uh, couple years ago. And I was very upset because when Edison said we're going to Dragon Con, I'm like, Sherilyn Kenyon always goes to Dragon Con. I was there the day after.
Oh, but for a Comic Con, I mean, San Diego is the place to come. We Okay, so let me tell you this quick story. My husband is born in San Diego. He has been going to Comic Con since it started, like from when he said it was a conference room with like fold up tables and you could go up to the table. And oh, I just put it in the other room. He has like drawings by some of the world's greatest known comic book artists that were just
Wow.
like little doodles that he has. And like last week, he's like, oh yeah, I found this one. And he rolled it up. And it's just like these amazing things that I want to get framed and put around the house. So as Comic Con became bigger and you had to, get tickets and it was harder,
Yeah.
he and his friends would just sneak into Comic Con. They would just sneak in. So the first year
Great.
that
That's
we
great.
dated, he goes, well, I'm gonna take you to Comic Con. I didn't know anything about anything. He goes, but we're not buying tickets. We've got to sneak in. And now, I'm just not that person, right? I'm just not that person. So I was like, oh, but what if they catch us? What's gonna happen? And I throw us out. He goes, no. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So we snuck it. I snuck into the San Diego Comic-Con the first time that I went. Mm-hmm. And it was great. The next year we go back and I am now pregnant, like hugely pregnant.
Oh, that's no way you're sneaking.
I was hugely pregnant. And I said, we're sneaking in because there's no way they're kicking a pregnant woman out. So I made this makeshift badge thing that barely looked like a badge. And I snuck in. And I had a great time. Now, that was actually the last time. And now my daughter is 13. That was the last time I was able to go inside Comic-Con because it's impossible to get those tickets unless you get lucky because it's all by like lottery and it's this whole complicated thing. And we tried one year with like 5 different laptops. And
so what you're saying is we're going to San Diego Comic-Con, but we're going to have our own con outside where we just act like we are the actresses and listen, great people.
Because so many people don't make it inside, they have panels that set up outside of Comic-Con, and all of downtown San Diego becomes like an outside Comic-Con thing where there's parades, there's like different experiences. There's like The Walking Dead had an amazing experience where they had zombies that were in like the parking lot. So even if you don't make it in, you're still going to get the con experience because they put it outside for all the thousands of people that don't get to go inside.
That's so cool. That's so cool. We went in January, we went to Blue Ridge, Georgia, first road trip as a couple, well, husband and whatever. Anyway, so we get there and I love thrifting. So I told my husband, you find something to do because I'm going thrifting. The girls, us, were going thrifting. So they decide to go bowling. And as soon as they walk into the bowling alley, the lady's like, are you guys the actors from California? You're from Hollywood, right? Listen, we've got this set up and you tell us what you need to do. And they're like, no, we're not actors. She's like, yes, you are. We're expecting actors from California and you guys look like actors.
Hey, roll out the red carpet. Why not?
Yeah. So they're like, they had to show their Florida ID for the lady to believe that they weren't the actors. Yeah, it was great. I was like, well, now you can just, if you hear any noise, my dog is upset that I'm still talking and he's trying to move my shoes from the table so that I pay attention to him.
Yeah. Well, I've got, you heard my dogs going crazy earlier, and I've got 2 of them sleeping right next to me, so they're nice and quiet right now.
No, this guy's like, hey,
hello, handsome. Oh, he is so handsome, and he knows it too. Look at that face. Oh, say hi, mama.
Okay, I'll let you go.
He is such a good boy.
You need to lay off the cheese, buddy.
So yeah, I actually did Beetlejuice for my theme. And I was actually going to do the couple, but I decided that because it's a really paranormal romance, they're the ghosts, yes. But I had this movie poster that had, Beetlejuice on the cover, and I picked up all these colors, and I did this whole separation of color thing. And so I did there's no pattern, just a seed stitch infinity cow.
That's so cool. What do you call the seed stitch?
It's the one that's a single crochet chain, single crochet.
See, I call that the linen stitch. And then
it's different.
And the UK, I think they call it the seed stitch. The UK
moss
calls
stitch,
it the
right?
Moss stitch. Yeah. So I never know what to call that stitch.
I figure because I see it pop up different ways that people kind of know what. But yeah, I've heard linen, I've heard moss and seed. So I'm calling it seed stitch.
And in Spanish, I remember I looked it up, and it's punto de arroz o punto musgo, which musgo, moss. So that makes sense. And arroz is rice. So I don't know.
We can call it the rice stitch as well.
Right? That's what I thought. I'm like, you know what? This is basically the whatever you see in this stitch, that's what this is.
Because it's such I really like seed stitch. I really like it. Actually, I started designing a shawl, and I'm like, it just kept like coming back. And I'm like, I think I might just use that again because I love the way variegated yarns look in that stitch because you don't see the lines. So this was my 2021 paranormal romance is my Beetlejuice.
Spanish. We actually did stuff last year.
We did. So for 2022, we have a theme. We can share the theme, I think, but no other details.
No, we're just going to share the theme and okay, I'm just going to say it's historical romances. That's all you get for now.
Yes.
So we're excited. We hope you get excited about it too. And you let us know in the comments if this idea resonates with you, because we know there's a little series in Netflix that a lot of people talk about and discuss, and you know, they meet at the parlor and they share tea.
I love it. I binged it. I think I did it in 2 days. I was
I did it even though I gotta say I wasn't as excited for Bridgerton season 2 just because Anthony's not my favorite character. But I love the way they portrayed it. I love the casting that they did. And I love the sass from the Queen, Lady Danbury, and Portia. I love the sass from all the older ladies. They were 10-10, just enough to put whiskey in a teacup and just sip it.
You know, whiskey and teacup. I'm game for that. There are days where, she'd be the only whiskey in the teacup kind of days. Yes, so May 14th is the next time that Clarisabeth and I will get together. And this particular Zoom blog will be on the Crochet Luna channel, but the next one, part 2, will be on Clarisabeth's channel. So stay tuned because we're going to reveal our themes, not our themes. We already know what the theme is. Our couples.
Yeah.
And we have some special announcements. And we are really, really excited for the summer of romance. And I hope that a lot of you will participate and will be as excited to go on the summer's journey with us. Maybe we can do like a Zoom knit night. What do you think? Would you be down?
I think I would be down for that. Because you know, you can Zoom from anywhere. So even if I were to take a summer vacation, I'll always have my iPad, which has Zoom, so that would work. And I think it'd be so cool to just live action share our ideas and what we're working on. And we're really excited to share this summer with you, especially because the world, I don't want to curse online, but we are in a bad place. Yeah. Bleep, bleep, bleep. In any language, it's got to be bleeped. So and we need to spread love and crochet the world a better place, which is what we hope you guys are excited about as well. And just let us know if you're participating or not. Look forward to the 14th of May. And also we're scheduled for another live on Facebook, but we'll tell you more about that in the next podcast that we do together.
Lots of information. Lots of information, lots of participation this year. And as a parting thought, I would like to say that, as you guys can see, sometimes we finish, sometimes we didn't. Sometimes
we didn't even start.
Sometimes we didn't even start. Right? But I would hope that doesn't put you off, and that what we want is for you to have a project to work on this summer. We are not here to, have hard and fast rules about finishing. Just use the hashtag, jump on Ravelry if Clarisabeth starts that group.
I think I'll start it just for anybody that wants to share it.
Okay.
And, just have a little chat. It's just we want to get back to this community thing where we do stuff together, and we just are there for each other. So we hope that that's what you are looking forward to.
And with that, we are going to wrap it up, and I will see you in about a month.
Yep, I'll see you in a month. Bye.
Bye.